Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. We're excited about being in the Sunday Funday today, and we have some outdoor decor that we're going to bring you in our video. I do not like to spend a lot of money when I'm decorating the outdoors. I have a 100-pound German Shepherd, and he can be quite the challenge when it comes to having things out in the yard. But we have some really neat ideas today. We have these Christmas trees made from tomato stakes, and all of the items that we use to decorate are Dollar Tree items. We also have the clothes hanger snowflakes, and these are not a new idea. There's lots of videos on those, but we just wanted to show you how we're staking these in the ground. And they're a really simple, easy way to decorate your yard, and they look great outside. We want to thank Yanni and Diane from Deco Easy and Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehabs for allowing us to join the Sunday Funday. Check out their information in the description box along with the playlist of all the other crafters in the Sunday Funday. If you're new to our channel, subscribe to our channel and check out some of our other seasonal DIY videos, and we're going to get started with making our Christmas trees first. Now I have 6 tomato stakes that I'm using to make the 3 trees. I'm using 2 stakes per tree. I have 4 of the little gray lightweight tomato stakes and then 2 of the blue tomato stakes. The gray ones are a little bit easier to work with just because they're a little bit more bendable and more pliable. But use whichever ones that you have, and I'm going to put these together with some zip ties, and I'm using 2 just because I want to make them a little bit taller than just using 1 and a little bit more sturdier with 2. I'm using the zip ties with my Christmas trees and the snowflakes, and I bought this pack at Walmart. It's a 250 count for $4. And when you're putting your tomato stakes together, I just put one inside of the other. You want to turn these though. You want them to be off center. You don't want those to line up exactly because you want that to have that line to put your ribbon around. You don't want to have a big hole there or a big blank space. So just make sure they're kind of offset or off-centered with each other. And then I use my zip ties. You don't want to get these extremely tight or you may make your tomato sticks be kind of offset or off-centered. So just get them good and secure. And then I'm also going to put one here at the top to make that triangle, and then just a couple around the bottom. So this didn't require a lot of them. I think I used about 6 or 8 maybe on each tree to get them put together. So I did spray paint my tomato stakes a medium to a dark brown. For some reason I didn't have a picture of that. And then I'm taking the twine from the Dollar Tree and I'm just tying it in a knot around the top. And then I measured along the length of the tomato stake, and then I'm tying another knot on the bottom. And this is just to fill in and give you some support to be able to put the ribbon and the pine cones. And I have this, it's on a step there, so that's a really good place to have this kind of overhang to be able to do this. And I'm tying it around the bottom there in a knot, and then I twisted it to pull the twine even tighter, and then I'm using the glue gun there to make these strands because you want these to be really tight. When I was just tying them by itself without the glue gun, they weren't staying tight enough and secure by the time I got all the way around the tomato stake. And it took maybe about 24 or so strings. You just want to have a string every so many inches. And here's just a picture of where I've got the twine all the way around. It looks kind of similar to a bird cage here, and this is just going to give you that added support where you can be able to glue on it and attach some of your items here for your Christmas trees. Without that support, there'd be too many open gaps or too many holes there. And this really didn't take that long to do. Mainly just hitting it with the glue gun and waiting on the glue to settle really took the longest time. But if you do have a step there, that worked really well to have something to set that on to be able to let that overhang while you're working on it. And this is just another view so you can see 2 of them where I completed the twine around both of these tomato stakes. After you get your twine, next I'm going to start with my ribbon, and this is the burlap ribbon. I'm just going to put some of the glue from the glue gun along the strip, and I'm starting at the bottom. You want to try to catch it around the metal part of the tomato stake, and I just folded it there so it would glue against itself and against the metal part of the tomato stake, and then I'm just going to wrap around. So I'm just going to go all the way around, and this is just really filling in, and you don't have to have it just completely covered because we're going to have the garland and some other items. So I really was just trying to get into the in between the metal part is where you want to add your ribbon. And when I ran out, I just put some more glue and glued it against itself again. And this is all the ribbon on one of my tomato steaks there, all the way down. And it took about, that is the Dollar Tree ribbon there, that burlap, and it took probably 3 rolls of their ribbon there on these to completely cover it. And then I went back there with the glue gun all the way down on the metal and just touched it a little bit on the inside and glued it against there just to make sure it's going to stay nice and secure, especially if it's raining or having any wind outside. After the ribbon, I'm going to move on to the garland, and this is just Dollar Tree garland, and it took about 2 complete rolls, 2.5 rolls or so, to do 1 tree. And this really works good because it's a wire, so I just attached the wire at the bottom and went around, and this was about 1 roll there. And then I just attached it again. Wherever you end off, you can attach it to the twine, or you can attach it to the wire there, and it will just twist on really easy. So here's my tree with just 1 layer of garland. If you wanted it a little more filled in, you could definitely use another roll or 2 of the garland, but I like the way that this turned out with just 1 layer of the garland. Next, we're going to move on to putting some beads on, and I just bought some of the Mardi Gras beads at the Dollar Tree. I spray painted these a white. And I didn't completely cover my tree with the beads there. I just hot glued these on and just kind of sporadically put those on. And there's some of the pine cones I went back to, and I just put those on with a hot glue gun, just kind of sporadically in different places. For the beads, it really required a lot if you wanted the whole tree covered all the way around. So I just kind of hit the high spots of where I applied my beads there. And also with the pine cones, I really didn't have a pattern. I was just kind of starting with some smaller pine cones at the top and worked my way to some larger ones towards the bottom. And I just applied all of this with a hot glue gun. I got my tree toppers from the Dollar Tree. I've got 2 stars and then 1 angel, and I'm spray painting my stars in heirloom white, and that is the same shade that I used for the beads on my burlap trees. I attached my star with a hot glue gun. I just put the points of the tomato stake up inside the star and then put some glue from the glue gun inside there, and then just held it straight to get my star to point straight there. It kept wanting to lean to the side due to the wire from the tomato stakes, but you may just have to hold it in place there till your glue sets to get your star to be straight. And I took the burlap ribbon and some floral wire and made a cute little bow and put it right underneath the tree topper, and that will cover up any space there where your tree topper may not have went all the way down, and that will cover up any of that empty space there. And then I went back and took 2 little small pine cones and 2 little pieces of garland there and put in the center of my bow. I think this turned out really cute the way that looks at the top of the tree. And then I want to give you a picture here of the whole tree. So this is one of my finished burlap trees, and you can see the pine cones there around it and the beads on this tree. It looks really cute. So this will give you some decor in your outdoor space during the daytime. And I made 2 trees exactly the same like this. The 2 lighter weight tomato stakes are the ones that I made the burlap out of, and then the blue tomato stakes is the one that I'm using the red ribbon on, and I'm going to show you how I put that tree together here next. I originally found the ribbon on the right at the Dollar Tree, but they only had 2 rolls, and when I went back to try to purchase some more, when I realized it was going to take a little bit more ribbon, they were out. So the ribbon on the left is from Michael's, and it was a much better deal. They had those for $9.99 and 70% off, and I got an additional 15% off, so that was only like $2.25 or $2.50, and it only took 1.5 rolls to do this whole tomato steak. So if you're, the Michael's ribbon was a much better deal for this, and this was even a larger tomato steak, this blue one was, so I had a little bit more to cover, so a little bit better value there. Next, I went back and then put my garland the same way. I followed the same steps. I did the ribbon and then the garland, and it took again about 2.5 rolls of garland to cover my whole tree here. And then this is just a picture of my tree with the garland, and then you can see some of the red beads, and I just used the red Mardi Gras beads there, and I didn't spray paint those or anything. I just left those red and put those on with the glue gun, and then I followed the same steps. I went back and put my pine cones there, and no pattern, and just kind of sporadically placed the pine cones to try to fill in any of those empty spaces. For the tree topper on the red, I'm using this little silver angel from the Dollar Tree, and it has wire around the bottom, so I just unwound it and then fixed it around the top of the tomato stake. I took some of the ribbon with some floral wire and made a cute little bow, and then put 2 little pine cones and some garland. I made the burlap trees first, and I thought, well, those turned out just gorgeous. And then when we made the red, we really love the red one with the buffalo plaid. I think the red is my favorite. So I made 3, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to put these in between some bushes that I have there with some lights. So I'm not going to put any lights on my trees, but you could wrap some Christmas lights around these. But I think the bushes will illuminate these well enough during the night. I am going to take some metal stakes and stake these in the ground. I'm going to put about 4 stakes in around the bottom of these trees just to secure these in place. And then if you don't have any metal stakes, you could cut some metal clothes hangers to use as stakes to anchor these in the ground just in case you have some wind or some rain so these don't move around. Now the clothes hanger snowflakes, these look awesome out in the yard, and obviously we didn't come up with this design. There are a lot of other YouTube videos and Facebook postings and Pinterest designs with these clothes hanger snowflakes, so we didn't come up with this, but we just want to show you our designs, and we're actually going to stake these in the yard. The Dollar Tree has these firm candy canes, the red and white candy canes, and we're going to use those. We're attaching those with zip ties to our snowflakes, and we're going to anchor those into the ground. And we're just, you just want to make a pattern, use your zip ties there to secure it. And when you make, it takes about 3 packs or about 16 or 18 clothes hangers to make a design. If you just make one like that with about 8, it's too flimsy to secure in the yard. You could put it up against a building, but we're going to go back on top and make layers. So that's what we're doing here, and you can reposition these and turn them whichever way you want them, because that's going to make your snowflakes unique. You're just going to have to tie them together with the zip ties and then go back on top and secure more on top of it with some zip ties. Pay attention at the Dollar Tree when you buy these, because they do have different clothes hangers. They have some that have, you'll see later on, some little hooks in their clothes hangers, and they have some that have the little, you can see right there, the little white piece in the corner. So you want to be sure that you're buying all of the same pattern when you're making one snowflake. And they do have children's clothes hangers and an adult clothes hanger, so depending on the size that you want, you do have that variety. The little children's clothes hangers do stake much better in the ground, but if you're wanting this to hang onto a building, you may want a little bit larger design. And we're just building our pattern here for this one. And this was one of the ones, this turned out really cute with just 8, but it's too flimsy to stake in the ground with 8. So you'll see here in a minute that we went back the opposite way of this pattern after we made one with 8 and put it on top there to make it a bigger design. So here's this pattern, and that's just 8, but it will keep flopping when you're trying to put it on the stake. So this is the one where we just went and did the same pattern with 8 again, going the opposite way, and then we put it on top of this one to make it an even fuller snowflake, and that made it much more secure to be able to stake it down into the ground. And here you'll see them side by side, just where one's going one way and one's going the other. And we're just going to lay them on top of each other, and then we're going to zip tie those together to give it that'll add the needed support to be able to stake these into the ground. And we're using, the Dollar Tree has some red and white, or red, white, and green candy canes, and that's what we're going to mount these to, or zip tie our snowflakes to. And then I'm going to take something else and make a hole in the ground, and then we're going to put our candy canes in the ground, so that way we can stake these into the ground. I don't really have a place, there's the candy cane there, to mount these on a building. And this is a different design. Kids love to do this. These are my girls made up these different designs, and this one really looks like a star. I love the way that one looks. And here's a different design here that they made too. This was the one that you saw previously, but this is with bigger clothes hangers. So there's 8, and then we're going to have to go back and do 8 more to add on to the top of this one to be able to make it firm enough to be able to stake into your yard. And this is one that's doubled, again, just so you can see how it makes it so much fuller and adds so much more support, so you'll be able to stake these down into the ground. And we're going to show you outside too some of the finished ones when we have them attached to the candy cane, so you can see how that white really pops outside. This is the one again that looks like a star when you put a double layer of this one together. And this is these are adult clothes hangers on this one, and there's the candy cane up there. So we're going to show you how some of these look out in your yard. And here's just some pictures of some of the different designs staked in the yard. You may have to use for the adult clothes hangers a little brick or something to put behind there just for some added support. But these look magnificent out in your yard. I can't believe you can make these for, $4, 3 packs of clothes hangers, the candy cane, and then some zip ties. These are really fun to make. The white looks great. I was actually going to spray paint some of them silver, but I love the way that the white looks. They don't take a lot of time, and they're inexpensive, and they make your yard really pop. You could put some Christmas lights on it if you wanted to, but we're not going to. I like the way that it looks up against the greenery there in the bushes. We hope you enjoyed this video today. We want to say thank you to Yanni and Diane from Deco Easy and Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehabs for hosting the Sunday Funday. We had a lot of fun making these designs. They look great outside. We want to thank everyone for watching. Subscribe to our channel, Southern G Moore Gals, and check out some of our other seasonal DIY videos. Let us know what you think about these designs, and thanks for watching.